Last week, Labor MP Kaushaliya Vaghela showed just why she has earned the title of Rebel MP when she crossed the floor in State Parliament to support former party heavyweight Adam Somyurak's referral of Labor's red shirt scandal to be investigated by the Ombudsman and the Anti-Corruption Commission. Now, in 2018, Victoria's Ombudsman Helen Glass found that Labor had misused $388,000 of taxpayers' money during the red shirt scandal. It's been a scandal that has plagued Labor, but that's all that's happened. But now, Vaghela's and the crossbenchers' votes secure Somyurak's motion to refer the allegations of corruption involving the Labor Party to the Ombudsman and then potentially IBAC. Vaghela's move has forced Parliament to act when in fact Victoria Police should have done so, following the rort coming to light and Deborah Glass's findings. But they didn't and couldn't, and much of why leads to the Andrews government running political interference and VicPol's hierarchy doing the Andrews government's bidding. Now, Victoria Police are under siege because it appears it has allowed itself to become compromised and has failed to clean house when it needed to. Hanging over the force are the consistent claims of corruption and politicisation rife, especially amongst its hierarchy. And it's the scandals enshrouding Victoria Police that should concern all Victorians. Scandals like the I Cook Food saga, the red shirts rorting affair, and the 58 breaches of the Workplace Safety Act from the failed hotel quarantine scheme. Three major scandals, and there are many more, that give significant insight into how Victoria Police is seemingly compelled to operate and the rotten apple's destroying it, which is why detectives from Victoria's Fraud Squad are seeing red. And it's more than just red from the red shirts rorting affair that they're seeing. Fraud Squad detectives in 2018 had urged VicPol Command to consider arresting and prosecuting 16 MPs over the affair. But that request was not backed by senior officers, and the intervention by senior police was to be allegedly kept secret. The files relate to Operation Octillo, a 2018 probe into the red shirts allegations. The Victorian government is riddled with scandal, and just like the red shirts rort, political interference plays a major part in a cover-up to protect key players in a sordid affair that Hollywood would struggle to concoct. However, the I Cook Food scandal is real, and so too are the characters involved. From Dan Andrews and Brett Sutton, federal opposition leader Anthony Albanese, to police command and investigating officers, the CEO of Greater City Dandenong and its officers, community chef, and the list goes on and on. There's not one bit of the I Cook Food saga that not only stinks, but it is mired in a sewerage of detritus. Now, Ian Cook has been seeking justice and accountability from the Victorian Government and Victorian Police and the Greater City of Dandenong to reclaim his damaged reputation and the loss of a 40-year-owned family business and the destruction of the livelihoods of more than 40 of his employees. And as with the red shirts rort, political interference and a compliant police continue to stifle Ian Cook's efforts and thwart any hope of bringing an end to a matter where justice is desperately needed but is being obstructed at every turn. Now, to highlight the extent of incompetence, or worse, corruption, running rampant through VicPol, is the latest alleged blunder to beset I Cook Food saga. This week, Victorians learned that one of Victoria's leading detectives, Detective Sergeant Ash Penry, had John Benny, the City of Dandenong's CEO, as a person of interest. And then, sadly, as we've come to expect, VicPol Command took Penry off the case. The question needs to be asked, why? What would motivate VicPol Command to take its star investigator off the case? The only obvious answer, one could conclude, would be to halt Penry's efforts to potentially lay charges against someone he believed was a key suspect in the sordid affair. Penry said in a leaked briefing note, it became evident that the level of corruption misuse of office and a malicious prosecution were involved in this matter. As for the red shirts rort, arresting, raiding or searching 16 MPs would have, according to sources, been viewed as complete overkill, which only adds greater questions as to why. Their leading legal representation, renowned criminal defence lawyer Rob Starry, instructed Force Command they would not voluntarily cooperate with investigators. And according to Starry, they would exercise their right to silence if arrested. Those with nothing to hide, hide nothing. And it should be the Andrews government championing an investigation as the only way to remove the obvious appearance of wrongdoing, rather than attempting to thwart the investigation. Instead of instructing MPs to remain silent, Andrews should be encouraging their cooperation. But Australians and Victorians have come to learn in politics, corruption and self-interest have become the accepted standard. And just as Andrews has shown with new laws he's introducing to protect Sutton in an attempt to stop people suing him and be held to account, laws which invariably protect Andrews.